Hey guys, thanks for pressing play. Today I'm going to give you an overview of some basic gear for MUni, what I suggest to use, and what other people use. I have some leg armor, water source, gloves, ankle braces, helmets, and some shoes as well. For unicycling, there's two types of helmets. You have the full face helmet and the half shell helmet. The most commonly used helmet is the half shell helmet. The reason why is because it's cheap, easy to use, light, and it's comfortable, and it gets the job done. Just put it on your head, strap it on, and you're ready to go. The top of your dome is always covered, and that's the most vital part of your head. The second type of helmet there is the full face helmet. This helmet, very few riders use, and it's not very popular among many riders as well. The reason why is because one, it covers your entire face. Some riders don't like that. It can be uncomfortable, but it covers the entire face, so there is that extra protection in case you do fall on your face. Gloves. There are two different types of gloves. The full finger glove and the half finger glove. The full finger glove covers your entire hand, in the name full finger glove. You strap it on, the whole hand is covered. Half finger glove only covers half your fingers. Each glove has its advantage and disadvantages. The half finger glove, since your fingertips are exposed, you can do things. As an example, grab your phone, send a text, and you're ready to go. Full finger glove, your hands are completely protected. So in the case of an unplanned dismount, you fall, you scrape your hands, all your fingers are protected. Now, what some people do when they get gloves, they can go to the hardware store, get plain leather gloves, and these work just as fine as well. They're not as comfortable, they're thick, they're made for work, and not unicycling. They work, but they're not the best. The best alternative is to go to your local motorcycle shop versus the bicycle shop, because the gloves at the motorcycle shop are a lot cheaper, a lot thicker, and they protect your hands more. And with unicycling, you really want gloves that protect your hands, because when you fall down, all your weight goes on the hand, and if you have thin gloves, it doesn't do good sometimes. So now we transition over to leg armor. Leg armor usually consists of a knee pad and a shin pad. This is called a shin/knee pad combo pad. Now, you usually get these, they're a lot cheaper, they cover your leg, and they're a lot more flexible as in the sizing goes for the way they fit. You could get a large and you could be a medium and they'll still fit you versus just getting a large shin pad and a large knee pad. And also, they're all made to be one piece, a lot more comfortable, and I think they do the job a lot better than trying to get two individual pieces. You got a couple different brands out there. You have mountain biking brands. These are a little bit more expensive, brace face. They cover your entire knee. They don't cover your shin so much, but what I like to have in pads is a protection of my knee, my leg, because usually when I fall down I hit my knee versus my shin a lot. And my knee is a little bit more sensitive than my shins are, but that's because I've been riding for a while and I've hit my shins a lot. When I very first started out riding, I got these pads, 661s. They're the standard pads for unicycling. A lot of people use them. There's nothing wrong with them. They work perfectly. They protect your shins a lot. You can see that I have gashes in them and they're all marked up. And these cover the shins more than the knees. That could be good and it can be bad. It's good in the sense that you're not going to hit your shins. I mean, that can be a sensitive spot, a tender spot on most people's bodies. So these cover up that just fine. The only downside is they don't cover the knee near as much. For example, one time I was on a unicycling trip and I had these pads and the top of my knee wasn't covered and I hit it on a rock and it really made my day not good. As we see here on my left leg at the standard unicycle pad, my entire shin is covered. Now if I have a pedal strike upon my shin, I'm not going to feel it. But we look over here and we see my knee is partially exposed, but it appears to be completely covered. And so I bend my knee and you see the top of my kneecap come out. When you fall down, you usually hit up here, and if you don't have the right side of these pads, you usually have to get a large pad, a very large one, and then they'll cover up but they still have a tendency to slide down when you ride. And this is what it looks like. And once that happens, then your knee is no longer protected, and it's just like you're riding without knee pads on. On my right leg, we see we have the mountain bike pad, and if we look to this profile here, you can see that the entire knee is completely covered. If I flex it, try to slide it down, it's not coming down. I've fallen on these pads a lot, and I've never hit my knee. I've never had any incidents with these ones. These pads on this side, this unicycle pad, I've hit my knee a lot, and it's not fun. Especially for MUni, you want your leg to be protected, because you could be way out in the backcountry riding around, and when you get an injury, it sucks walking back to the car. Over here on the mountain bike pad, once again, we see that the shin is exposed, but like I said, this is a personal preference thing, and my shins are no longer tender from after many pedal strikes, so I don't really care when I hit my shins. It's not so bad. Now, one more point I'd like to make is the back sides. These are completely covered. The standard unicycle pad. These completely cover the back of your leg. You can still get a pedal strike on the back of your leg, and it's not going to cut you up as bad. Now on the mountain biking pad, the back of your leg is exposed, and yes, I have cut myself in the back of my calves. It's not, and to me, it's not a bad injury. It's a good trade-off because you get ventilation, and I like these pads the most. Overall, I would choose these over these. Elbow pads. A lot of unicyclists don't really use elbow pads. What they really use is arm protection. These cover up your forearms, so instead of putting your wrist out to break the fall, you put your arm out to break the fall. I highly recommend getting a pair of these if you're just starting out with MUni, because these will save your wrist and they'll save your arms, and they'll just make your life a lot easier for learning how to go off-road on a unicycle. My next point I'd like to bring to you guys are shoes. There are mountain biking shoes, and they work perfectly fine for unicycling. They pretty much do the same thing. What differentiates a unicycle or a mountain biking shoe from an everyday walking shoe is the type of rubber that is on the bottom of the bottom of the shoe. This is a shoe that was made by 510, and it's the high impact series, 510 high impact. I like these ones. They protect your ankle. I've never had any issues with them. The rubber is great. A lot of people don't like them because they're pretty much butt ugly. They look horrendous, but for doing the job, they do great. I really like them the most because of the rubber they have on them. It's very sticky. You can get away with riding with plastic pedals, need be, and there's many benefits to riding with plastic pedals, such as, say you slip a pedal, you're not going to have metal pins digging into your shins. Those help out a lot. So now the next shoe there is just your everyday skate shoe, walking shoe, or whatever shoe you have. These do the job just as fine as well. They're not near as good as the mountain biking shoe. One is for a couple reasons. One, the rubber on them, it's a little bit stiffer, a little bit harder, and it doesn't dig into the pedals as near as good. You have to ride with metal pedals with these for the pins to really get a good grip. And then also another thing is, there's not much ankle protection. They're thin, so if you catch your foot on a rock, a big stump or something, there's a chance of you hurting your foot. So now there's one last thing I like to touch down upon, are ankle braces. These aren't necessary for mountain unicycling. I think they're a great thing because you're going to be riding a unicycle off-road, and a majority of the time you're going to be falling off. And you're going to be falling off on uneven terrain, uneven surfaces, rocks, boulders, logs, granite, whatever you have. And these are great. They stabilize your ankle and they prevent you from rolling it. Now, if you have weak ankles, I suggest not going to Walmart and just getting some Ace bandage wrap or something like that, because I mean, that's mainly for injuries. You want to get something that's comfortable, that you can take on and off, and you don't mind wearing all day. I prefer the 661 Race Brace series. These are great. They come with hard inserts in them. You can take them in and out if you want, and I love these. They also prevent your foot from going up and down, so that's just another thing to consider when getting braces. So now the last point I'd like to bring to you guys is a water pack. You carry a backpack with water in it, that works just as well. What I really like are the backpacks with an internal bladder system, like this one. It's camel pack, and the way it works is you put the water in there, you seal it up, and you're good for the day. This one is relatively small compared to a lot of them. I think it's about a pint, I'm not exactly sure. And it's light, it's comfortable. I really like using these. And if you're going to get one of these, be sure to pick out one with a little pouch system, like this one has. You could put food in it, toilet paper, whatever you want. I put my tools in there and a little snack. So say I get any loose parts, my bolts come loose, then I can tighten them up and we're good to go. And also, you kind of want something like this on there. So if you're carrying a camera or some more gear, you can strap it on there. It works great. And this is what I prefer to use the most, the camel pack. I have the most luck with them. Some people don't really like the internal bladder system in these because they don't know how to dry them out, and they grow fungus in them. So what I usually do is whenever I get done with my ride, I just empty them out completely. I suck out all the water. You can put in some lemon juice to get it disinfected, and then get everything out of there once again, get all the fluids out of there, stick a coat hanger in there, put it upside down, you're good to go. In this video, I discussed the different type of helmets there are. Gloves, leg protection, arm protection, shoes, water source, and also ankle braces. Now, what I suggest, the most important thing if you're going to get into mountain unicycling, MUni, is to get a helmet. If you're going to be riding off-road and your head's the most important thing, you hit your head, you're going to want a good helmet. I suggest find something that's comfortable and don't really matter, it doesn't matter how expensive it is, because if you hit your head once and you have to go to the emergency room, go get an x-ray, get stitches, it's more than likely you're going to pay for like the most expensive helmet at the store. So get something you like, get something that looks good, get something that's comfortable, get whatever you like. As long as it covers your head, that's the most important thing. Now the second most important thing, I think, is have some leg protection. Something specifically with good knee pads. Because you're going to fall down and hit your knees, and you're going to have a really bad day if you don't have any good leg protection. And then last, get a good pair of gloves. Get something that's comfortable, once again, something you like, something that looks cool to you, something that functions just as well, and once again, something that's comfortable. The reason why gloves are so important is because when you fall down, your hands are going to skid on the ground. And if you don't have gloves on, you're going to cut your hands open. And hand injuries suck the most because you use your hands every day. So, thanks for watching, guys. Please click subscribe, like this video, share it, and we'll talk to you guys later.